Hey you!
What?
Are you ready for some Criminal Minds evolution?
Yeah!
Are you ready to see the team track down bad guys?
Yeah!
Are you ready to see the team defeat serial killers?
Yeah!
Well, too bad. Here's an episode where one of the characters nearly dies and it helps him with relationship therapy.
What? What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Anderson here, and this is Criminal Minds Evolution Season 3, Episode 7, All the Devils Are Here. So, I gotta say, I'm a lot more invested now. I think they've done a really good job at kind of bringing me into it finally. A lot of very intriguing elements and possibilities coming out of this, with somebody trying to get Elias back to what he was before, which I will say lends some credence to the idea that he has turned over a new leaf. He is actually feeling something differently now. So it's a very interesting concept. I don't know if we've ever seen a story where a psychopath suddenly gets empathy where he didn't have it before. So if that is indeed what we're doing here, I'm curious to see where else it's going to go. As far as who's behind all of this, I don't really have any ideas off the top of my head. I'm fairly certain it's not going to end up being Cyrus, because that would just be too ridiculous that he set up this whole thing to kill him and somehow didn't kill him, despite the fact that he can't remember what he put in his IV now, but it was something lethal, so he should be dead. I don't know if we're maybe going to find out about some secret sibling. Maybe Cyrus had trained somebody else to keep an eye on Voight the whole time. I'm not sure. I'm also trying to think back and remember all of the stories we learned about what Voight was doing before, because we've already seen where he's made these connections with some of the people that he's related to before. So I'm trying to remember if there are any stories that are not coming to me at the moment that could possibly lead to who the disciple is going to be. But the fact that they're using his Uncle Cyrus to turn him, it's a very intriguing plan. Now, I don't know if we're going to get more answers as far as what happened with Garcia trying to stop little things from inside the guy blowing up, because we didn't really talk about that. She said that she had hacked into it and that she was going to find a way to turn them off, and then she hits the button and that blows them up. So I don't know if they just had like a kill switch on them, or if you turn them off they blow up, or if whoever's in charge of all of this, if he set it up to where when she tried to hack in, it like reversed what she was trying to do by turning them off and instead blew them up. We never really got an explanation for that. So I don't know if I'm just supposed to assume that there was like a kill switch type of thing on the little devices. But it is weird that we didn't really talk about what happened there and why Garcia thought she was about to save the guy and instead killed him. But then, of course, we have the cliffhanger that this episode leaves off on, with Tara and Evan both being shot. If I'm not mistaken, Evan was saying that the one guy that I think was supposed to be Voight's lawyer is the one that called them down to where they got shot. I don't know if we're going to find out that he's also involved, because we did see Voight's original lawyer. He shows up dead, which it's funny they couldn't even show him like on screen. So I'm guessing they just couldn't get the actor back or something along those lines. But I don't know if this lawyer is also going to be caught up in everything that's going on, or if this is a scenario where somebody hacked into his phone and sent a text to Evan from his phone. I'll be honest, this cliffhanger doesn't really impact me that much, partially because, again, Tara and Rebecca are not that interesting. What's really funny to me is actually in this episode, they bring up the fact that there is a conflict of interest here, and that's why Evan is taking over for Rebecca in this case. So it's really funny to me that they brought up the exact issue that I just talked about in the last review, as far as why I thought them getting together in the first place and staying together through all of this felt like it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But the thing is, Tara was the one who was shot between the two of them. I know Evan also was, but he kind of feels like a side character. I will say if he dies, then that whole thing with the peacocking in the last episode becomes completely pointless, and I will absolutely be pissed off about that. But for Tara and Rebecca, I don't expect Tara to die. She's one of the main characters on the show. I don't feel like they're going to kill any of these characters off. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that's not going to happen. But Rebecca is more expendable. I mean, we already saw Will died this season, so I would not be surprised to see Rebecca die as well, but she was not the one shot. So I'm not as interested or as, oh my gosh, about this, because I'm not expecting Tara to die because of this. But it still does raise a lot of interesting questions. I don't know who they were trying to shoot here. I don't know who they're trying to take out. But like I said, I am a lot more invested now, and I'm a lot more excited to see where the rest of the season's going to go. So with all that being said, get on to the next episode. I'll see you there. And now episode 8, Tara. So we pause your regular viewing of Criminal Minds Evolution to bring you an episode solely dedicated to Tara. And I've said it for the past couple reviews, Tara and Rebecca are not a couple that I'm really invested in. Again, there's a lot of question marks about the legality of what their relationship means. The fact that they're both working closely on a case. They work in different departments. One's working with the BAU, one's working with the Department of Justice. That raises a lot of red flags that lawyers will jump on, and it's already gotten Rebecca removed from one case. On top of that, like I said before, the two of them as a couple, have been shown to be a bit of a mismatch at times. They do work occasionally, but for the most part, I'm not fully convinced that they work as a couple. And then we have a whole episode dedicated to Tara just trying to survive a shooting, which then leads to her proposing, and that's what this whole episode is about. We don't even get hardly any information by the end of it about who set up the shooting. We have some theories thrown around, none of them pan out. I will say Evan seemed like maybe he was going to be involved in the stupidest way possible. Thankfully, they didn't go with the fact that he was trying to win Rebecca back by taking Tara out of the picture. When they suggested it at first, though, I will say I would have had the biggest flip out on this review because that would have been the dumbest way to include the peacocking thing that I talked about before that, in my mind, still has to play in somehow. Okay, so he wasn't peacocking because of Rebecca. There's still something there, right? There can't just be a misunderstanding, right? But he gets framed, somebody plants his DNA at the crime scene. This guy that he helped put away before is the one that did the shooting, so there's that connection. Ultimately, the team does figure out that he was being framed, so now we just have to figure out, well, who did do this? And they theorize there's some connection between Voight and Rebecca and Tara that they don't know about yet. And he even mentions that, and it might have something to do with the girl that his Uncle Cyrus killed, that Rebecca put away the wrong person for. But by the end of the episode, there's no further information. They look into it, doesn't seem to be anything new. And like the final 5 to 10 minutes of the episode is just Tara returning and then her proposal. That's it. That's how the episode ends. So, I mean, if you're a fan of Tara and Rebecca, if you like them as a couple, this is a great episode for you, and I'm sure you really enjoyed it. But for somebody like me who's not as interested in their relationship because I still don't really connect with it, this is just a bland episode that feels like it pumps the brakes on everything. We made no progress in this episode, and there's still a lot of questions about Evan as a character that they were just sort of glossing over. I will also say the girl they got to play his fiance, a little bit weird with her acting. Some of her lines were very blandly delivered. Whenever she first saw Rebecca, her reaction sounded somewhat sad, but her face was not showing sadness. It was like a little smile in it. So I don't know if she's going to return, but yeah, was not the most convincing performance from her. So yeah, all in all, a very bland episode for me. I hope the final 2 episodes can bring it back home, but this really did pump the brakes on what was kind of a building momentum from the past few episodes that was actually starting to get into it. And then all of a sudden we're just like, all right, now let's focus on one character and her relationship with another character that I'm not all that interested in. And that just unfortunately sucks. But whatever the case, that'll be it for me. So with all that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that review. I hope you enjoyed it. First and foremost, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I love having discussions with people, so whatever your thoughts were, whether you agree or disagree with me, please leave them down below. Obviously, no spoilers. Also, if you did find yourself enjoying this review and you want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I also have a gaming channel as well as a channel where I talk about soccer, so if you want to give those a follow as well, that would be much appreciated. And lastly, if you want to help me improve upon the quality of these channels, I do have a Patreon. All of this is in the description below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.